First off, let me acknowledge the elephant in the room. The Lakers cannot trade LeBron James at this very moment since the NBA trade deadline already occurred on February 8th. But with that being said, the end of the season is approaching quickly, and unfortunately, it's approaching even faster for the Lakers. At the very least, I believe the Lakers management need to accept the reality that they should be dealing LeBron James at the end of the season. It doesn't really have to do with LeBron James's performance, as he's still incredibly productive even in his twilight years. He's even gone as far as taking a bigger role as a scorer, similar to what Kobe used to do whenever his Lakers were struggling. This season, LeBron is actually averaging the most points he scored per game since his first stint in Cleveland. Although that is impressive on an individual level, there's a lot of different factors at play here, which I'll break down aspect by aspect. Let's start by breaking down LeBron James and his situation. At this moment, LeBron is 37 years old and in his 19th season in the NBA. Not only is LeBron the same age as Kobe when he retired, but James is also already third on the NBA's all-time minutes list, trailing only two players who he's closing in on very quickly. Whether or not LeBron fans want to acknowledge it, the reality is that Father Time is approaching. Yes, it does approach at a rate slower for LeBron James, but Father Time is inevitable nonetheless. You also have to at least consider the fact that LeBron has been more injury prone in these last few seasons in Los Angeles. And although LeBron's health is usually a safe bet, it's certainly not as secure as it once was. Here's the biggest factor for LeBron James though. As soon as this waste of a season is over, he'll only have 1 year remaining on his contract. So even if he's still in elite form, and even if his health remains intact, there's still no guarantee that LeBron will be with Los Angeles beyond next season. It's basically the worst kept secret in the league that LeBron plans on joining his son regardless of wherever he's drafted. LeBron even alluded to that quite recently. But after those statements ruffled some feathers with the Lakers front office, James then said that he plans on being a Laker into the distant future. Let me be clear here. As somebody who's followed LeBron James throughout the entirety of his career, this statement from him means absolutely nothing to me. Not only is he coming shortly off of the heels of talking about leaving, but loyalty to an organization is simply not LeBron's tendency. And I'm not even saying that this is a bad thing. The truth is that after he's surveyed the lay of the land, LeBron has always done what's best for him and his circle. When his supporting cast in Cleveland wasn't getting it done, he formed a super team in Miami. When the health of Wade and Bosh started to decline, he rejoined Cleveland when they acquired some new promising talent. When he kept running into the wall of the Golden State Warriors, he then began building his future in Los Angeles, where they quickly became a powerhouse of talent. To expect LeBron to be loyal and to stick with these struggling Lakers is totally wishful thinking, because it would involve LeBron doing something that's completely out of character for him. So now that we've addressed LeBron in depth, let's take a look at the Lakers situation. Not only is their core of talent old, but they're well over the salary cap, their best young star is the most injury-prone player in the league, and thanks to the Anthony Davis trade, they've potentially surrendered their first-round picks to the New Orleans Pelicans over the next 4 seasons. Not only are the Lakers struggling in the present, but if they don't start making some deals to acquire some picks and free up some finances, they don't have a future either. Russell Westbrook already seemed as if he was experiencing his last chance in Los Angeles, and currently, he's looking like he might be one of the most overpaid players in the league. Some may view Anthony Davis as the cornerstone piece that you can build a future upon, but as I mentioned before, they would have a difficult time acquiring talent to put around him, and building a future around a player who spends a large chunk of his time on the injured reserve list doesn't really sound like a bright idea either. Even if Anthony Davis somehow miraculously remains healthy over the next several seasons, there's still no assurance of any commitment to the team after his contract is up, as he, like LeBron, has already publicly flirted with the idea of joining other organizations. So not only do I think this offseason is the time to make some drastic changes, but I think they gotta blow this whole roster up, starting with trading LeBron James, who, unlike Kobe in his later years, doesn't have a no-trade clause. The Lakers can't hesitate on this either. If someone like LeBron leaves in free agency, then LA gets nothing in return, which would be devastating considering how they have basically no solid draft picks to build with after his departure. When it comes to the Lakers, having draft picks and having space on their payroll means that their next title contender could be just right around the corner, considering how appealing their prestigious brand is to free agents. But if they aren't proactive about this, a couple years from now, their lack of initiative could translate to the second coming of the Jim Buss era, where long-term deals with players like Timothy Mozgov and Luol Deng are considered the highlights of the offseason. So what do you guys think? Is this offseason the time to blow it up in Los Angeles, or are you seeing something that I'm not? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.